Before the world as we know it existed, before the rise of empires, before the first human breath filled the earth, the Bible hints that a conflict of unimaginable scale had already begun. A war, not on earth, but in heaven. Many people think the story of evil begins in the Garden of Eden, with the deception of Adam and Eve. But according to ancient biblical tradition, the origin of evil began long before humanity walked the earth. It began with a rebellion among angels. Scripture gives us small glimpses into this mysterious event. One of the most striking descriptions appears in the book of Revelation. The text describes a cosmic conflict in heaven. A great dragon appears, powerful and terrifying. This dragon is identified as the ancient serpent, the one later called the devil and Satan. But he does not stand alone. The prophecy describes how a third of the stars of heaven were swept away with him. In biblical symbolism, stars often represent angelic beings. This suggests that a large number of angels joined the rebellion. But what caused this uprising? Other passages hint at the answer. The prophet Isaiah speaks of a proud being who once held a position of great honor. He said in his heart, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High." Pride, ambition, a desire for power that did not belong to him. According to many biblical interpretations, this rebellion was led by the being we now call Satan, once a powerful angel, now the adversary. The rebellion that followed shook the heavenly realm. The book of Revelation describes the conflict as a war between loyal angels and those who turned against God. The archangel Michael and his forces fought against the dragon and his followers. The result was decisive. The rebellious angels were cast out of heaven, thrown down to the earth. This moment is often described as the beginning of spiritual conflict in the universe. But what does this mean for humanity? According to biblical thought, the fallen angels did not simply disappear. Instead, they became forces of deception, temptation, and destruction in the world. The story of the Garden of Eden may be the first time humanity encounters this fallen power. The serpent appears, a whisper of doubt, a suggestion that God cannot be trusted, and with that deception, humanity enters the same rebellion that had already begun in heaven. The war that started among angels now reaches the human race. Throughout history, believers have interpreted this cosmic conflict as the deeper explanation behind the struggles of the world, behind corruption, behind injustice, behind the constant battle between truth and deception. But the story does not end with rebellion. The Bible also promises a final resolution. The same prophecy that describes the war in heaven also speaks of the ultimate defeat of evil. The dragon is defeated, the forces of darkness are removed, and peace is restored to creation. If these ancient writings are correct, then humanity lives in the middle of a much larger story. A conflict that began before the first sunrise, a war between loyalty and rebellion, light and darkness, truth and deception. And according to Scripture, the final chapter has not yet been written.